she's visiting from India, and she'll be talking about her experiences in a while. But I just wanted to give a brief introduction about AID. So AID is a volunteer-driven organization. It's an organization based in US, which helps and support like different projects back in India through like different activities, more than just like fundraising and charity, by actually working with the grassroots organizations. And this is one of our efforts to like Revathi has been one of our 8 partners since 2012. So and we are a primarily volunteer-driven organization. We have a student chapter at Revathi, and if you all are interested, you are welcome to attend our meetings. So I'll do a brief introduction about Revathi. So I have like a lot written up, but then just a brief introduction. So like Ms. Revathi, she is an organic farmer and was a school teacher before, and it was done like pioneering work in the field of like reclaiming agricultural lands destroyed by natural disasters and in the field of sustainable agriculture. Her work has touched more than 1,100,000 farmers, helped reclaim land and livelihood in 22 disaster situations, and has been recognized by the government of India, Sri Lanka, and Indonesia. Her primary work has involved changing the philosophy of farming, which she was talking about like primarily today, by training farming communities to switch from industrial to eco-friendly, sustainable farming. She researches and promotes traditional farming methods and also native crop varieties. And at this point, I'll like hand it over to.
Can I use this also?
Yeah.
Welcome.
So we'll just chat. Yeah. Maybe can.
Stand here.
Okay. So I think you can also like hold it and then. It doesn't look like.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for providing me this wonderful opportunity today evening in the video Land Eyes of Fasting chapter. So I'm thankful to this chapter for providing me this opportunity. And before I enter into Inspire story, let me say a few words about our story. Our story means how we get connected to this part of work, this type of interest. So when I was a child, I stayed at a rural area where my father was a headmaster in the rural school. At the age of 6 months, I was affected by polio. So my right leg performance, so only 20% it will work. So I have to manage with the left one, that is 70% all right, 30% damage. So this provided me the other perspective of life, lot of learning, lot of other advantages in my life. I have to say like that because it provided a lot of positive things in my life. So when my father and mother were very busy in their routine work, they kept me near the window all the time. I am looking outside. The birds are the one very busy. Other everybody is very busy, but they took pity on me. So they travel to me every time with the new things from nature, an insect or a leaf or a bird, something like that. So they are the one fascinated me at a very young age and introduced me to the other partners of the nature. So from those days onwards, I'm very much connected to birds and college days, every time. I'm very much connected to environmental organizations, movements, eco-friendly activities, mountaineering. Once upon a time I couldn't walk, but after that I was the vice president of the mountaineering club of our area because of the interest. So like this, our days are very much blessed. Every weekend we used to travel to nature walks with a lot of students and youth, introducing them the various parts of nature, how everybody is connected, how everybody is important. And our team consists of a vector specialist, anthropologist, soil expert, ornithologist. So everybody loves to travel with us. So those are the days. Till the time, I don't know anything about farming activity because from my early days onwards, my family shifted to the city place where my mother is originally studied and their families are living there. So my mother took us to the city place for my treatment. So I was completely disconnected from the farming activities and also the rural background. After several years, I get connected to an institute called SACOM. They provided me an opportunity of being an associate membership in that institute. So SACOM is basically a high-fi research institute available in India. There are two types of institute. There, at present, we have two high-fi institutions like that. One is SACOM, that is recently founded. Before that, you have DNHS. It is founded by Dr. Salim Ali, the father of Indian ornithology. So the second institution, SACON, is founded on the memory of Salim Ali. So it is called the Salim Ali Center for Ornithology and Natural History. That day was a beautiful day. So happily I reached the place. I joined with them. Our eco clubs are merged with them. At the time, I am the coordinator for 400 eco clubs with the different schools and colleges and many places. So everything merged together with the SACON for the big purpose. But when I entered the institution, they engaged in a very big study, 3 years long study of why the mortality rate of birds, Indian birds, is keep on increasing. Why many of them are endangered list and some of them completely extinct. What is the reason for that? That was the study going in SACOM. I was so sad because my world now it is completely filled by birds. They are the one giving me more energy, strength, confidence, and my life is completely changed because of them. But now I'm seeing a lot of birds on the table and a lot of analysis, hot results, testing of chemicals present in their metabolic system, this and that. So if one bird is removed from the ecosystem, it is not only the loss for that single bird, but immediately 40 of the species directly connected to that bird, it will be removed from the same atmosphere, same evolution system. So it's very hard for us to think about it. How many birds are dying and how many birds are coming to our institution every day. It's very sad thing. So like everyone, I was also waiting for the results. What are the results going to come? So finally they announced that it is alpha endosulfan, beta endosulfan, like that. So many chemicals. These are the reason when the heart vessels are tested, they found out these are the chemicals present in their metabolic system. And they also get cancer, they also get several diseases, paralysis. And after that, they are also taken away permanently from the environment. So to kill one insect, 1 ppm of poison is enough. But our birds, most of them are insectivores, not frutivores. So they consume a lot of insects as a part of their ration. So the dose increases in their body. So this is called bioaccumulation. So in the evolution chain, from one to another, this doses keep on increasing and we are at the top of the pyramid. So I was really worried. So I registered a topic under SACON and shared them. I want to go back to the farming communities, why they are so much dependent on these chemicals. So they understand the consequences, how it is affecting the ecosystem and also finally our food. So to test this thing and to want to get the right information from the farmers and with our testing laboratory services, I want to clarify the situation. So I traveled first time to the farming communities. And that experience was so bad. Farmers really frustrated. No farmer is happy. Every farmer is thinking that it is a curse on them. Nobody is believing that it is a blessing being a farmer. And because of the crushing policies, because of the impact of climate change and market fluctuations, and completely disconnected from their traditional knowledge, and so many reasons, and because of that, farming becomes economically unviable. Every farmer is highly indebted, and if anything happens to any chance, any single chance, they are ready to leave farming and wants to move to cities or some other place. Even for the legal job, they are ready to go. That is the situation. Nothing promising. So I did a lot of studies and documentation about the toxins present in our food. It was very, very shocking. Even the mother's milk, when we tested, it contains 10 ppm of poison. So everything is highly contaminated. The residue present in every food, it is in an alarming rate. So we came to know that in India we have 10 types of cancers, in it 6 types completely because of the pesticides and other chemicals widely used in our farming practices. and India becomes a victim for this globalization, Indian agriculture, and huge corporations making a lot of money exploiting our farmers. And 150 chemicals which are banned all over the world, it is completely simply occupied our fields. And every year, several metric tons of lakhs and lakhs of metric tons of poison is thrown in our fields. So these are the things. So when we stretched the result and the farmers asked us, okay, now you are telling all these things. What is the alternative for it? Do we have any opportunity to change our practices? We also know that this is not good. This is a dead trap for us. But where is the alternative? So for them, I started doing the second part of my research to provide solutions. So we are talking about problems. The problem is huge. So if everybody is starting the problem and everybody is criticizing the farmers for using pesticides or chemicals, so what is the solution? They are not dependent on these chemicals before this green revolution practices introduced to them. They are very, very rich traditional knowledge farmers, 10,000 years of rich heritage we have. But today's situation is like that. So what is the solution? So we started doing the research and documentation for alternatives. Very successfully, very quickly, we developed a lot of practices because the situation is very, very forcing us to carry out a lot of new findings because that is the time more and more farmers committed suicide, huge indebtedness. So because of that, we developed a lot of new techniques. We tested the samples, nutrition values, toxicology, and also soil fertility, microbial population, water holding capacity, and the farm economics. So every parameter we tested, we documented. A lot of trials for the last 3 years, next 3 years. So because of that, we developed a system. If I say we, it is just myself and my husband because he interested many ways of doing this because every day I went home and I shared this information. So my school provided me a space for doing this type of research and lot of travel all over the country and spreading this message to the farmers. But still we are working. So one day it was a very tough day to take a decision because many places in India people are very much uh, in need of our information. So they started calling from different places. We couldn't take a decision. We are living in the city. Somehow we travel in this park to start this as a small thing. But now it is beyond our limit, beyond our imagination. It's spreading, and how people came to know about us, it's surprising because we don't have website, we don't have visiting card till today. But how people are connected to us, really surprising. So people started calling us from different parts of the country. So now we are in a very, very hectic situation. So far we remained as a volunteer, even though volunteer, a lot of work we did. But now we have to take a decision, solid decision. So I decided to become a full-timer, leaving all my identities as a city dweller and want to go back to the rural India and to support the farming communities wherever the calls are coming. So when I shared this information to my family members, they are very unhappy because that time my age is 30 and I work as a science teacher in a higher institute, well paid researcher in the associate, as an associate member in the Higher Research Institute, Environment Society, and many other responsibilities. So my family very much they suffered and when they hear this information. But my husband provided me a lot of support because every day there is no other way for him. Initially, he supported me as a volunteer, but after some time, he understood the consequences, how I am very much emotionally attached to this topic. So he also decided to quit the job, and he is the naval aviation officer at the time. So he had a lot of experience, and he traveled a lot in other different places wherever the air base is there. So he learned many languages and he joined with me. And on the 8th, we decided to move out of Coimbatore in 2004. Before that, we remained as a volunteer, but from 2004 onwards, both of us full-timers. So 2004, we traveled to many parts of India. During that time, 66,300 people were trained by us the whole year. Most of the cases are saline lands because excessive use of chemicals made fertile lands into saline lands and low productivity. So for that, we help the farmers to get back the prosperity again by using our organic approaches, remineralization, and a lot of other techniques regarding to soil management and making the soil once again fertile with all the properties, balancing of the properties of soil. So this experience provided us a very good platform. That is the time I was invited by Chennai IIT to become a resource person for their final year students. That also did very well and connected to many institutions, global level and slow food conference at Italy. They invited us to present a paper regarding our research and our dissemination practices. So like that, we get connected to many people. But the interesting part of it is, please come. Yes. So our journey started like this. So now, formally we are registered ourselves as an organization at the backdrop of tsunami at 2004, December 26th, when tsunami collapsed the east coast of Tamil Nadu. Many people they lost their livelihood and also their lands became silent. So under this situation, the technical institutions when they uh, approached the farmers, they said that it will take long time to get back the lands. So they are ready. The governments and the organizations shared them. We have to select some other land for farming, and this is not going to work out anymore. So the situation is very shocking and also very frustrating to the farmers. So that is the time we decided to support the implementation work at the ground level because when we approach people, nobody is ready to believe our words. And so it is no other way for us that we are entering into the demonstration part, implementation part. That is the time formally we registered our organization. Now Inspire is a very experienced and working with large number of farmers all over the country and also neighboring countries. Research and development is our priority and dissemination of information to larger communities. So entry level to expert level, we have programs to farmers, agriculture officers, researchers, students, internships. Many ways we are connected to different parts of the globe. And also campaigns, publications, networking, these are also our focus areas. So during these so many years, we traveled a lot. Because of that, we reached 1.1 million plus farmers so far. We trained them in these practices, and now they are the practicing farmers of these methods. And because of tsunami, our life after that it becomes disastrous. And wherever disaster happens, people started calling us, governments, policymakers like that. So far we worked in 22 disaster recovery situations and Kadalur, the recent Chennai floods is the 23rd disaster now currently we are working. So one of our other priority strategy is conserving our traditional seeds, folk seeds, because the traditional seeds are the one time tested and they have very good qualities like flood withstanding, drought resistance, and also pest and this is tolerance. But these hybrid varieties they are with the numbers, and these number varieties no farmer can guess who is the father and mother of this seed, and which season this seed can be sown. But the farmers' varieties are with the names, and the name itself depicting what is the season and whether it is a long crop or short crop, and about its performance, like whether it is drought tolerant or it is with flood withstanding. So many characteristic features are revealed by the name itself. But these varieties, the company varieties or the market-driven varieties, they have only the numbers like ADT 39, CR 1009, like that. So only the technical people can understand the features of the seeds and the performance and other things. They differ face to face. And universal solutions here, they are not all working. So if you travel with me to the coastal parts of Tamil Nadu, every 15 kilometers once, the soil type changes, the water availability, and also stagnation of water, everything changes. So according to that, according to the location-specific conditions, according to the microclimate available on that land, people find out several varieties. These are all time tested. It is because of the exchange of information, knowledge, by thousands and thousands of years, but farming communities, these are the results of their wisdom. But unfortunately, this wisdom is not available now at our farmers. The completely it is removed from the public domain because of the careful, consciously, and conspiracy behind this. So, a lot of seeds removed from our public system, and the seeds are not with the farmers. So, these varieties, the hybrid varieties, whenever there is a small rainfall, excessive rainfall, immediately it will lose its life. because the water stagnation, it will not allow them to grow. These are all block varieties, and where it is stagnation itself, the crop collapses. And they could not withstand the drought conditions. If there is no water for a couple of days, it will die. So it's like a patient in the ICU. You have to provide all the conditions, all the setup. Everything goes well, then we will get some result. But this is like a gamble. So farmers are really frustrated, and they know that there is no surety of getting the results back. So now we are talking about the impact of global warming in huge farms. But the result is actually on the people at the very, very edge. So the fishermen and the farming communities, they are the one every time losing the crop and losing their livelihood, because this is the problem. Because of the rainfall pattern completely changed. No seasonal rainfall, only cyclone rainfall. Seasonal rainfall is there, then you can make a calendar of activities, you can predict the activities, and you can plan for that. But if there is no seasonal rainfall, sudden outburst of rains, it will collapse the cropping pattern. At whatever stage your production, you have to lose, no way. So under the stressed conditions, the time-tested varieties are the one helping the farmers to get the yield and making them more and more self-resilient and also self-esteemed. So engaging them to restoring the traditional varieties is our main priority, and that is the one we are taking care in most of our programs. So our journey with AID begins in 2004 when I shared you the information when we left our jobs, moving out of our city and leaving all our identities, and everybody was unhappy except aid. Okay, so aid volunteers, they called me one day. Still, I remember the situation. And we don't know anything about aid at the time. We know only one aid, that is aid USA. That is another aid, USA aid. They are the ones making more and more worst things to developing countries by the way of supporting the conventional farming practices. So we know we are familiar with that aid, not your aid, our aid. So the problem is when they came to know that they resigned and we are very much engaged ourselves in supporting farming people all over India. One day, aid volunteers called us and introduced them that we are the organization aid working at different parts of India, but we are now living in USA as students or families. So we want to support you in the name of a program called Sponsorship. They explained. So I was not happy. I said, who are you to support me? This is my decision. Are you the agent of Monsanto or Syngenta? Because your name is not good. Your name itself suspecting something. I'm suspicious. So like that only our initial days started. But after that, several discussions, several communications between Aid and myself, and I am really happy. So every volunteer who called from the side, they explained how their place is affected, how their farming situation was very bad. So they want to support people like me because we have a lot of techniques and our commitment, involvement, everything is very much touching the people at aid. So that is why they are connected. And they share a lot of information and every part of India is connected because of aid. So a lot of calls from different chapters. Then they invited me. So I said, oh, I like you very much. Then that is the day, last day I associated with aid. It is 12 years from now. So very, very long journey traveling together with aid. I am a proudful partner, I have to say. No funding partnership in between aid and myself. It is another thing you have to it will be very, very interesting to many of you because we don't have FCRA so far till now. That is 2014 December only we received FCRA. You know FCRA? FCRA is Foreign Contribution Regulation and Registration. It is delayed for us because our government is not happy to give that registration to us. So it was a long struggle. So meantime, there is no opportunity for us to get any funding or any donations or any support financially from outside. And even in India, we are not interested because we don't have time at all to write a proposal or document or budget making. These are all entirely new for us. We are not originally from the development sector. Like you, we also volunteered initially and know the way we became the full-timers. But the other skills know what is required for the development sector, we don't have. So marketing, definitely it is not possible for us. Marketing our idea, very much possible. But marketing ourselves is very difficult for us. So because of that, we are not connected to aid in a way that other organizations are connected. But because of the volunteers, every volunteer, whenever they travel from here to other places in India, they call me. I was not in Tamil Nadu. All the time I'm in travel. So if they find out that I'm in Andhra Pradesh, okay, I will come. So Andhra Pradesh volunteers will join with me in that place. Or if I am at Sundarbans or West Bengal, okay, they will come and join with me at Sundarbans. So they are happy to travel with me in different places. So far our relationship is going like that. So whenever I visit a chapter, it is very impressive. When I meet some people, the next time you will not be available here. You may be traveling to other chapter, or you may be out of this country, and you may be settled with your families with so many kids. So no time for you to contribute aid, no problem. But sometime after that, when the children go big, they will come back to aid. So aid is like a flowing river. It is not a stagnant office or something. So I respect this relationship very much because wherever we go, and now I am connected to several other organizations in India and throughout the globe, many universities, many institutions, we get connected because of our long years of travel together with many organizations. But aid is simply super because of this volunteerism. And every volunteer, till the time they are with the aid, there is a lot of momentum, a lot of engagement, a lot of sharing, and it is a personal learning to your volunteer also. If you are out of aid, there is very minimum possibilities to know, to understand what is happening, what is reality. We are with so many masks, the screens are there. So if you participate in aid meetings, programs, and other things, it provides you a lot of scope for your personal internalization also. So that is the one I respect very much. So I started this journey here at September 11th. You couldn't count my chapters. All 36 chapters this time invited me. You have to be with us because this is our 20th year. So I promised to them when they called for the conference, I said, this time I couldn't come because we were very much engaged in the Cuddalore rehabilitation project. So I said before this year completes, I will make a visit to all the chapters. So because of that promise, I started the travel at September 11th. Initially, I went to the very good chapter with the barrier, team leader Somnath, then the Boston chapter, the first place, great chapter. So Boston and then Washington, Ann Arbor, Philadelphia, Chicago, Salt Lake, Colorado, Portland, Seattle, and after that LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Bay Area, and Troy chapter. After that, what is here? This place, Austin, Dallas. Like that, my schedule is now. I am already completed. I think 20 more chapters, and I have to travel till December 11th. So like everybody is telling more than Hillary, I travel a lot. So this travel is made possible because of every volunteer in aid. So every chapter visit you're asking only 1 day and Dallas 1 day. These are sorry for that. I could stay only 1 day here, but other chapters 2 days, 3 days, or 5 days. So many programs. We visited many of the universities, research organizations, lot of interaction with the farming communities, and also with the 8 chapters, refreshing chapters, very successful chapters, many walks of life. So I'm really blessed. I'm not tired. You see, every day I'm traveling. The morning I travel to new place. Tomorrow morning I will travel back to Dallas. Next day morning I have to travel to Houston. Only 1 day at Dallas. Like that I'm traveling. But I'm not get tired because every house, every people, they are very much carrying a lot of food. You see, I developed obesity now. So like that. So aid is a very good organization. They are like a shadow. It is not that a partnership or something. It is the friendship and relationship, reliable partners. So wherever I go, I couldn't write it even. It's a luxury for us because all are disaster places. No electricity, no roads, no phone calls, nothing possible. Even my family members, they don't know for many days whether I am alive or not. So sometimes when we cross the city, we have the signal and we call. At the time, some of the aid volunteer will call and keep on trying. Where are you? Are you safe? That is the first thing. After that, we will start explaining everything. Where are we? What are we doing? So the volunteer know when he is in the phone, he will type it. And next 5 minutes or 10 minutes time, this message will reach the entire globe. That is the way we are operating. I didn't even send a single mail to anyone till my this day. All are because of the volunteers. Till today, I will call the coordinator Vidya, this and that. She will type and in my name it will go. It will reach some person. That is why Arun is doing that work. Volunteer Arun Gopalan from Philadelphia. Because every minute and second you are with people and engaged. There is no personal time for doing all this thing. And my WhatsApp now, 3,800 messages now. To clear it itself, I have to open and see whether anything is important or after that I have to clear. So like that. So this time, I have to tell you an interesting story. So in this picture, you can see one person standing near me. He is actually a volunteer from the Boston chapter. His name is Madhu Madhusudanan. So well trained by Somnath for several years. And when he came to know about our flood relief work, rehabilitation work at Kadalur, he decided to come and stay with me for a long time. This time really I suffered a lot because in all other programs my husband was with me, and this time he was also engaged in another training program at Australia. So I was only one. I started studying in 12th class at the time. So he couldn't help me. He's the wonderful trainer supporting me in all the program. He was also not available, busy with the school schedule. And Chennai also affected by flood. So we traveled there, and many of our volunteers engaged in Chennai flood. So helpless at the time. My driver, one assistant, and myself. We are the three people. Started working with Kadalur, 650 villages we surveyed and approached everyone for the support. Very, very hectic days. That is the time Madhusudanan traveled from here. He's a green card holder and he decided to stay with me for a couple of months. And he resigned the job and he traveled to India, stayed with me. At the day, really I'm worried because he is with pinkish color, and he is not married yet. And who will marry after he stayed with me? Because my place, no, like here, it also has three seasons. The Kadalur and Nagapattan area, hottest is the three season. And at the time of his arrival, 180 Fahrenheit, the temperature. So I'm really worried. He will be begged. So what is the situation? So I said, you please remain in the place where I stayed, that is in the village, the house. It is with a veranda something. We slept there only. And we have to go far away for the restroom. There is no restrooms available. House is collapsed. So this is our staying place, and they showed him the idli shop and dosa shop. For 3 rupees you can get a small idli and with the chili chutney. How he is going to live, I don't know. So I said, this is the condition, Madhu, so don't think that you can stay more days with me. At any time, if you find anything difficult, you can please travel back. I am very comfortable. But he said, let me try like that. But all the 3 months he stayed with me. And wonderful support. He made a lot of documentation, lot of travel. And for him, I find an office because I was worried for him. So after 1 month, we find a small office. And we started setting everything there. But because of our work, we couldn't do much. But the person, no, he stayed with me, helped with me by all means. He is the driver because my driver suddenly he went to his hometown, not coming back. Okay, engaged somewhere because this type of tough work, no. So he went back. So he becomes the driver. He becomes the document tester and everything. So very blessed days. Now Madhu is at New Jersey. You can call him at any time. You can ask him about his experience. And he started documenting the video documentation of how we reclaim the soil. So he sat down for a couple of days, how the soil was treated and the plastic surgery, this and that. Finally he said, oh, it is a phenomenal change. Nobody could document it in a picture way. You have to explain step by step and a lot of this step-by-step process. So such a way, people attain so many names. If I start from the 12 years journey, most of the people you couldn't know. I also, because I don't know where are they now. But they came, they contributed, and they are the unsung heroes. They went back to their original versions. Nobody knows about them. At least people will know about me. When I say all these things, people know everything is doing this and that. But volunteers know their work. So many people they don't know who is a volunteer. But the volunteers they flourished because of the blessings of the people there. That is what I have to say. But nothing they gained. So at the backdrop of tsunami, we started the work, I said, in the saline labs. So that is a very, very hard time because nobody is there to believe our words. But it is a very big work. A lot of seaweed is deposited on the soil and the salinity reached to 23 times more than normal salinity. So no seed germination. Even the water inside the plants, it is squeezed out. So perennial mango trees, ponderosa trees, they also dried because reverse osmosis. The stagnating saline water is more dense, with having more density than the normal water present in the plant body. So the water is squeezed out. So under these conditions, the farm is really frustrated. And how to reclaim the soil, no idea, because they are not experienced to tsunami before that. So there is no way for us other than helping and sitting at the village to carry out this task. So initially when we shared that it will take 6 months time to reclaim the soil, that it's very much possible that every government and other people they said, please carry out and document it. If you show us the proof, then we will try for the other lands. So we documented everyday process of our soil and reclamation with the EC, pH, TDS, microbial population, this and that, all technical ways of documenting how the process is ongoing. So luckily, because of the support of nature, we reclaimed the soils within 4 months of time, and again the greenery started coming back. It impressed the global media. So first the media people traveled there, and BBC, Voice of America, CNN, Dutch radio, like that from many parts of the globe. Lot of media traveled there and they documented this and they took it to different parts of the globe. Following them, the research institutions and universities like Michigan, first people are Michigan, and then Harvard, and then California University, and from other parts of the globe, people started traveling to our place. And from them only, we came to know that 30% of the global lands are salined. And no proof like our demonstration is not available because it's cost effective, speedy recovery, and organic approaches even in the disaster situation. It impressed many people. That's what they said. So, lot of interaction with the global community. And after that, our President Abdul Kalam, he traveled to our place and it was a very, very memorable day. He was very happy on seeing the results. He visited the fields, he interacted with the farmers, and he shared with them. He himself wrote a pledge by his handwriting. He asked them, please repeat it 2 times. This is what the important pledge I want to get from you. So he told them, being a scientist, I'm really surprised how they quickly reclaim the soil. This is a very tough task. So how you are going to show them your gratitude? You should not spend even a single rupee for alcohol. What you are going to get from these lands. That is what the promise I expect from you. So he asked them, stop drinking and do farming with the best practices because this was a precious moment. They get back the soil affected by tsunami. So that was very, very impressive and a very, very memorable day. He was very humble, simple, and many ways he touched so many hearts. Like everyone in India, he touched the people in the rural areas also. So after that, Bill Clinton, he visited and he spent a quality time with us. That is the time he was the Union Ambassador for Tsunami Relief and Rehabilitation Process. And here, so my team members presenting him a memento to him to take it to US. So it was the coastal landlord, so it was the bamboo boat. We are presenting him in memory of the coastal town Nagapatnam. So Clinton is very, very interested in saying that. So the speedy recovery is very impressive. And just now I visited Indonesia and Sri Lanka. Those countries also very much affected by salinity and lot of efforts going on. But so far, no proven results. So why can't we try these techniques there also? We'll try our best. If it works out, it will be very good for the people at other places. So he is the person motivated us, and it is the situation now. UN and UNESCO is ready to support us for expanding our ideas and our programs at Sri Lanka and Indonesia. That is how we connected to other parts. So crossing the ocean, I traveled to Indonesia at 2006 degree. It was 1 year after tsunami, and all the work at India, 25,000 hectares of land recovered by our method after that, because we proved So we ourselves cleared 5,000 hectares of land, and all the NGOs and INGOs, they took part in this process. And other agencies, we became the resource organization, and our techniques traveled across the place to Andhra Pradesh, Andaman, and other places. And this is the way the soils are reclaimed in the tsunami conditions. After that, I traveled to Indonesia in 2006. Beginning. So it was really a tough time because Indonesia, we thought that it is a country, but it is not one country but 17,000 islands. Every time you have to cross Indian Ocean with a small boat, the boats are going like this. And the language is really very tough to understand. Initially, we were taken to Bandaje in the Sumatra Islands where tsunami started its journey. And the sea was now calm, no side or anything, but the situation is not like that. Nearly 200,000 people lost their lives, houses taken away, and no seeds, no machineries, nothing to start agriculture back. And in that situation, lot of land selling, so we have to provide some solution to get back agriculture. It's really challenging. The issue is the language is very tough because several communities live earlier. So Arabians, Chinese, Hindus, Europeans, that is the name Ache, A-C-H-E. So because of that, a mixed language. They put everything in the mixing, they made it a juice. So the language is very difficult to understand to learn. So everyday transaction with people, communication is action language. So sign language, gesture language. We will do something and they will copy it. It's very difficult and translations very little. So like that we tried with the 32 islands, it worked out very well. But the journey now, it's very interesting. So every time I cross the ocean, sometimes I saw a lot of coconuts on the island. Full of coconuts one day. I saw in an island. So I was really surprised. I asked them, oh, this island must be very progressive and the farmers should be very rich because full of coconuts. But they said, oh, no farmer is there. Even we are not ready to go to that island, so it is abandoned, no human beings there. What is the story? Because the island now very much green, very much progressive. We are just several kilometers away from that island, just crossing, encircling it. So when I asked them, they said, huge octopus are living in this place, so even they can turn the ships. So nobody is going there. Oh, you should have told this information before you take me in the middle of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean, if you tell the stories like this, where shall we go? So I reached the place with the fear. Oh, octopus is going to come. Anyway, I have to say the final goodbye to world in the stomach of octopus. So, but nothing happened. But when we reached the island, people are waiting for us with all the food, everything. And they said, what is the name of this place? They said it is Nazi, that one is Guna Nazi. What is the meaning for this verse? This is boiled rice, that is raw rice. This is the name of the islands. Oh my God, what is the name tells you? So they put the rice in a bowl, added water, and just kept inside the mud. After 10 minutes, the rice was cooked, hot rice, and they served the food. Oh my God, that is the stove. They said the volcanoes and the hot springs are there. So this is the place. And here, everywhere, I saw the board. The floor is slippery. Every place, they caution, the floor is slippery, water is there, like that. So walking little difficult, no. So when I saw that board, I will be more and more careful. But there, every floor is slippery every time. 7,000 earthquakes in a year. So every minute and second you have aftershocks, mild shocks. It's not very big. Sometimes it will be little big, but most of the days very mild. But during that time, the tumbler will move like this. The pillow will move like this. The floor is slippery. The floor will move. So it's very tough to stand and walk and manage that the floor is always moving. See, like that, several things happen there. One day they took me to a place where the huge ship is standing on the building. Lot of buildings, it's a downtown area like this. So the ship is standing on that, collapsing all the houses. It is 11 kilometers from the ocean. The ship's weight 200,000 tons. Think of it, huge ship with so many rooms. It's just taken away by the waves, tsunami waves. And nobody has the energy to take it back. So the communities, they changed it into a government office and marketplace. And every day they are traveling to the ship, climbing on the ladder, and enjoying the space now. So like that, now I understand what is tsunami. So in the Tamil cinema, you have a dialogue. Tsunami ke sun ke depend like that. So people to that place, Karthik, tsunami is like that, 200,000 tons of weight. You could not try anything with that. So big force, big huge energy. So the problem is, every time they say Hana Masala, that is the only word I learned from them. Other words, not learning. I was very worried because wherever I go, at least a couple of words, some 50 words, I will understand. I will repeat. But here, great failure. So I told them the last day, 32 islands recovered, people are in a training mood, they have to send up us. Okay. I said, okay, I want to leave. So what is the meaning for the word Hana Masala? All this you are telling them. They said it means no problem. So with all these problems, the people have the tendency, self-esteem, and resilient communities, always they say Hana Masala with everything. If we start something, it is not working out, they will say, don't worry, it's fine. So, first day experience is really interesting. I told you the output story, no. When I reach the place, a lot of food is waiting. So people are with interest. I'm a guest. After 1 year, I'm coming there. They treated me like an angel because they want to get back their lands. Lot of trials already. So the food, no, it was a very big area. The food, plates and plates. Everybody prepared some food, and it was in the community hall, waiting for me to eat to start the feast. But the problem is, I was vegetarian, and it was not told to them. So I just used my nose, and it helped me to identify the smell of fish and other seafood. And I said, it is very difficult for me, sorry for that, I apologize, I couldn't eat anything. If you give me some banana or some fruit, then it will be very nice. They were very much worried. They said, we have one main thing, that is the real feast. So yearly once we cook that food. Because it's very costly, not available all the time. And occasions like this, we prepare that food. So at least you have to taste it. What will you say? So I said, half-minded, okay, please bring that food. Let me check it. So if I smell, it is not with the fish or something because a lot of masala added, coconuts. So I couldn't get it. What is it? So I asked them, could you please show me the raw material, then it will be easy for me. So they took me to the garden area. Something is hanging in the row, long one. I thought that it was banana leaf or something. When I get closer, two eyes blinking on me. I was very worried. Then they draw a picture because languages explanations will not work out. Very, very minimum interaction with the translation. So the other one is the octopus, finally. So one season, the octopus is it is traveling near the shore, it seems, so one season. So these people, they have the bamboo weapons. They are running with the speed of the octopus in the ocean and hunting it. We saw that, we documented. Oh my god, ferocious people. And their skill set, amazing. So even the octopus could not survive to people like the island people. So like that, so many interesting things. That experience was so good. But the other experience at Sri Lanka, it was something different. So this is for Sri Lanka, this is Sundarbans, but I didn't have the slides now. I don't want to show it to anyone. It was not a happy thing. It was very, very painful, the Sri Lankan experience. And I shared the Indonesian experience. It's very interesting, adventurous, challenging. But Sri Lankan experience is something very, very tough to even forget. Because there is a war time, civil war. Till till May 2009, I was there. 4 years of long stay in Sri Lanka. Initially, I thought that, okay, we will train somebody and we will come back to our field. But after reaching there, the problem was very, very many foods it was there and no food for the people. And there is no choice for you to say no to them because land slowly lost the productivity completely. The roads were closed from Colombo to Tamil areas. I worked with Tamil people at the east and north. And initially, UN is the one who invited us, so they provided the vehicles, siren, and every morning they will give you the security briefing. 6 o'clock, the curfew is released. You have to travel 180 to 200 kilometers to the war areas where the civil war is going on, the war between the communities and also the militants. And a lot of bombardment every evening. After 6 o'clock in the evening, you are not safe. So you have to return back to in the evening. After that curfew. So there is no guarantee for anything. So this is what the days. And the work at 7 villages. But the message spread everywhere like a forest fire. Lot of people started coming to our programs. So Union and the Sri Lankan government, Sri Lankan Research Institute, AXPOM, World Action, many agencies and local NGOs, they get connected to this program because they find this program is very useful to people. So our program prolonged like that. So I took a lot of people from Tamil Nadu and other places, my trainers with me, because this program is expanding. But one day what happened after 6 months of our stay at there, one day the fragmented group, they suspected us that we are supporting the other militant group, and they came with AK-47 guns, and they took us as a, to the gun. Yes. So it was for the inquiry, they said, but we don't know what will happen. It was a very tough day because all our youngsters, they started crying, and two girls with me and the three boys, all are well educated, coming from the city background, and this situation is very, very tough for them. And if the trigger is pressed, they couldn't do anything. So it was a very, very tough day. And after several negotiations, and UN also started coming inside the picture, and we were released after several hours. But that lesson was not comfortable for me. So I sent all of them back to the country. But for me, it is very tough to say that I'm also coming with you because the food was not there with the communities, I said. So onion prices 1,000 rupees per kg and the tomatoes 2,000 rupees, Sri Lankan rupees. And this is the industry completely, it occupied the Sri Lankan milk products dairy industry. 92% of the milk industry is with Nestle. One small Tetra Pak of half liter is sold at rupees. So people have no money, no food, and only rice and chili powder they mix every day and they eat. That is the food available for them. So under the situation, our techniques, they are flourishing and helping them to grow more vegetables because the land's low. They were bombarded, salined, and lot of firing. So always they fire the crop. The other militant groups and other army people, they fire the crop. So because of that, the soil lost the productivity, and the people don't know how to use the soil with organic approaches, how to make the prosperity again. They all know how to use urea and other things, but those things are not available at present because the roads are closed and war is going on. So under this situation, if they understood this technique, if they adapt, they saw that a lot of profit for them. So they showed much interest. And finally, at 2009, when I started coming back to India, that time we trained 500,000 people at Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan Research Directorate documented these things very well because 840 samples we provided every week. And they documented it in a way with a committee of members for soil expert, economists, entomologists. And the results were very, very promising to them. So the scaling of process went very well. They documented it as 240% profit at the first year when compared to their previous years with conventional farming. So this report reached World Bank. So they invited to Washington, why can't we scale up this program to other parts of the country, in Sri Lanka, and also Africa and Ethiopia, like that. But it is very tough for us to merge with the World Bank. So in some of the programs, we provide consultancy to World Bank, not as a formal member with the World Bank. So after that, when I returned back to India, I got a call from Somnath explaining that, saying that how Sundarban is collapsed because of the cyclone. Many of the lands very much silent, and the people at Sundarban saw their status, how they are very much need of the help. Everything Somnath explained to me. So I said, okay, Somnath, I will be very soon. I will start my travel from Tamil Nadu. So the third day we reached Sundarbans because of air connectivity, and myself and my husband we traveled to Sundarbans, reached Kolkata in the afternoon, and we traveled by the sumo vehicle to Sundarbans. But in between we had several interactions with the local NGOs, partners, and research institutions because we need the reports though. So they had the soil reports and something, and everybody has told us nothing is possible because a lot of salinity. And the scientists who were deputed by the West Bengal government, they said, whatever success you have made so far, it will not work out in Sundarbans because wherever you work, the soils are clay soils with potassium, sticky clay, and sodium. Here this is magnesium clay. technician K will not respond to any of this project, any of this methods which you used. So, but it completely waste. This is for the message. And Avarina, the aid volunteer who took us to those places, she was there. Now she is in Seattle. One day you please inquire with him about the Sundarban experience. She told me this time only when we met him at Seattle, the person, the researcher, the top class researcher from the university, who is deputed by the Department of Agriculture to help Sundarban people, he called her and asked her, don't waste your money. In for aid, this is not going to work out. This land is completely silent. We have to give alternate land for people. That is why that is what we have to do. Because even they spend 10 years, this will not give result. She told in the Seattle aid meeting this time. That's the time I came to know that they have interactions. Because it is in Bengali, so I don't know. So he told me several times, but how he explained it to her, I don't know. So like this, people from the same land, they're not supporting people. See, Sundarban people, they lost everything. Their life, if you travel there, very, very small land size. 1 bigha, that is 1/3 of an acre. You couldn't imagine. It is our backyard. Just what we have our car parking and backyard is the land available for 5 to 7 people of the family. And we have the hut, and we have the farm pond, and the goat shed, cow shed, granary, everything in the small area. This is they received from the government schemes. Communist government was there for long days. So they distributed small piece of land to every family. So every family has a land, but small land, very small land. And they have to work very hard to get their food and buy things from their small earnings, which they receive from the land. So when we travel there, the people at the Sundarbans, they didn't expect any help from outsiders. They clearly understand the situation. Nobody is going to come. And they started working, supporting each other. They started building their roads, they started building their houses. Didn't even expect any free things from anyone in that stressful situation. What they expected from us is, please provide us techniques. Because lot of salinity. And we sowed the seed, nothing is germinating. So what to do with this land, we don't know. If you teach us, it will be very helpful. But I asked them repeatedly, do you want seeds, do you want this, do you want that? Nothing they said. We need only this, other things not necessary. That is what the self-listening community. When everything is collapsed, what they have is 2 things. One is the mud, sticky mud, as the scientist told. And the other resource is the straw, very strong straw, like the Sundarban people. It is not the normal hay. It is very soft in our place. But Sundarban straw, it is a traditional variety. It is a very, very strong straw, like the corn. So they use the straw as the skeleton for their walls. And they paste the mud on them. So it is the wall. And for the roof, the same straw is used. For the stove making process, with the mud and straw, they mix and make the skeleton stove. And for the fuel, again straw. For the granary, mud and straw is mixed and the walls are made. And the granary wall, and the roof is again straw. So these 2 are the resources available with them. By utilizing it, they are living a wonderful life for Sundarbans. And you see, if something happens to us today here, you think of it, if electricity is not there for 3 days, how will we live here? Lifts will not work out, nothing will work out here. How our life will collapse, no stoves, nothing here, no heaters will work out like that. But you think of the Sundarban people are thinking that Sundarban people, they are uneducated, very, very poor, no knowledge, no civilization, because there is no electricity. 10 lakh people living there without electricity. This is the condition till today. So those people are treated like somebody in the other world, but they are the people with resilience and see their skill set. Thank you for being with us. Please keep in touch. You get my email ID from Dennis. Okay. So, in the situation, if something happens to us, do we have any skills to make our home once again, to make our roads once again, to make our stove and start cooking and helping each other? See, these are the communities with the self-esteem, self-resilient, and providing us lot of scope about future. So when we travel, the travel was so good up to the road, up to 10 o'clock in the night. So 10 o'clock we were there near Sundarbans. Two volunteers. One is Prithvi. Prithvi from AID Kolkata chapter. And another one, Dabolina. She is now living here. She is an architect. Wonderful girl. And they are waiting there for us. And we started our travel in the morning, but till we didn't reach Sundarbans. So why our vehicle has stopped, after that no road or muddy roads because of Ayla cyclone. So another vehicle will come, it is different, it is something different from this vehicle. So that only could travel. So we waited at that night, full darkness at a small villages everywhere we crossed, no T-shop, nothing, everything is closed, full darkness. Okay. At the time, the vehicle, no, with the rhythmic sound, it arrived. What is it, Just an engine, motor engine, and a wooden plank at the back. That is the vehicle, and the person told, we have 1 feet road, so we have to go in this way only. And two of them, myself and the three motor guys, and my husband and the Dabolina, they sit on the back because balance. And the wooden plank, all our legs hanging down, no roof, and we are traveling in the mud road, 1 feet road. Here mother ranges, here forest, Sundarban forest. We don't know anything about Sundarbans. We came to know that Iron Bengal tigers are living and lot of forest area and people are living. That's all. Not much information. So it's a full moon day. Very, very memorable day. See, tick, 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 like that, the rhythmic sound. So we are with a full mood. So lot of songs in our languages, different languages, horrible songs with the voices because we are fearful. A new place, full darkness. So at least if we shout, so many people are there. That feeling will get. So we shouted like anything and reached the place. And after that place was reached, the person told you have to walk 10 minutes, but this vehicle will not go in the mud. Lot of mud. Could you walk? I said, oh, I am a farmer. I could walk in the mud, don't worry. It was darkness, you see, it's 12 o'clock. So I get into the mud. Up to this, the mud was covered. And next step, not possible. It's very sticky. And the person told me, sticky, sticky. Now I understand how it is sticky. And one hand, Prithvi's shoulder. Another hand, my husband's shoulder. And they said, little, we can progress. Because it's a mud with stickiness. Then my husband told me, oh, Tamil Nadu buffalo, blow the lands of Sundarbans. Then this land will get ready soon. You are the right person to blow. So like that we reach the place. And when we go, people will receive us with good feeling and other thing. But there, when they bring the light, hurricane lamps, and they are scolding Dabolina and the Prithvi for taking us there in the midnight. It is in Bengali language. But the body language, no, we came to know something is different. So we asked them what's the problem, and they said, oh my God, why they took you in the midnight? We don't know that you are coming, but here the problem is two Royal Bengal tigers, their cubs, they are roaming here and there for the past couple of weeks. So everybody is worried and everybody is with the careful steps. But you are arriving here at this midnight. We came to know that because of our horrible songs, Royal Bengal tigers thought that a new animal has entered into our system. So they were afraid, it seems. So they didn't even come to us. So this place, see, look at the people, Sundarbans, children, no language, you think of it. Language barrier is there. But whatever we do, they will repeat. And translations made by 8 volunteers. So lot of effort. Till 2 o'clock in the night, the volunteers translate. Because morning time, they go to the houses, they repair the houses, they do lot of work because no food is available. Every road is damaged, lot of water stagnation, all the straw part, it is completely mixed with wetness. So under the situation, they clear the roof and other things, and they will come in the evening. So this is what our exchange of information we did. So what happened after that? See, when our work started, when the people said sticky soil and this and that, people's efforts, they learned very hardly from us. It's not easy. Everything is new. No chalk and dot method, no drawing. In the night with a little lamp, all these techniques were transferred to them through the translation, and they will ask you questions, and again translation, and getting the information from us, again translation. Think of it, a lot of efforts made by 8 volunteers. But because of all this uh, commitments, dedicated people, Sundarban, it started emerging, and initially it was with 25 trained people, and finally after several trips, the number reached 400 trainers, and lot of scope everywhere, lot of feeling motivation. Then army returned, people asked me, when will you come back? So I said it is very difficult for me to come again and again, but now you are 400 people. So you please progress. So they said if you come back again, we want to give you some peace to you because you stayed with us for a long time without any expectation. Very tough place. No, your food vegetarian. Always you are eating only vegetables, but we eat a lot of fish. But very tasty food we can provide you, but you are not happy to consume fish. So we are unhappy that we couldn't provide you good food and not good stay. And you missed your people there. After all these things, you made this for us. So what is your fees? When I said my fees is costly, you couldn't make it. They said, no, at least you give us some time, 2 years, 3 years, we'll save money and we'll give it to you. And I said, it is not money beyond that. So now you are 400. Every one of you should transfer these technologies to other 10 members. That is what my fees. Then somebody started crying and somebody screamed, Didi, you please come after 1 year. I will make 40 people. Another one said, I will make with the 70 farmers. I will do this and that. Okay, happily I returned back. After 1 year, Somnath sent me these photos. It worked out Revathi, so I wanted to send you some photos. What is it, Somnath? Some boards are there. It is in Bengali and some in English. So many places in Sundarbans, people have the name boards with your name saying that Sustainable Agriculture Program teach by our teacher Revathi. That is the board everywhere. And these are the salary lands recovered after 6 months. So it provided them lot of hope. And this is the greatest award I ever received, and from the other parts of the place. Now we are working at Kadalur. So this project completely supported by aid. So this year, during the Diwali time, the last year Diwali time, the flood started coming because 42 days it continuously rained. It is not great time. It is the farmer's field. So completely soil is taken away and it is eroded. And this place now, it is with full of paddy, full of bananas and the cashew trees and many other trees. Very, very flourished place. And because of the flooding, the flood water take away many trees along with it and a lot of topsoil erosion and the sand deposits up to 15 feet and houses buried inside. Very tough time for the people at Kadalur. And because of Chennai flooding, many of them, they traveled to Chennai and the Chennai people are the one helping each other because a lot of communication transactions, they have many channels, but Kadalur people, voiceless. So we started the work with the Bhumi Puja after 2 months because till the time I bargained with everyone as usual. See, these people are very much suffering and 40,000 tons of sand everywhere. In the flood, every time water will come. But this time, lot of sand. From which part it arrived. We have Neyveli Indian Corporation, a huge Navratna company, a thermal power station very nearby the farming fields. And every day they excavate the materials from inside, 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, they went deeper, and it was settled as a mountain. Once the excavation is over after 10 years, they will put everything back into the land and the mines were closed. But this happened in between the process, so a lot of mountains are there. And because of 42 days continuously rained, the last day, 45 centimeters of rainfall within 8 hours. That is the final day. And 18 kilometers of precipitation of clouds. So one after the other, they poured the water in the same area, not evenly spread. So because of that, lot of mud, that is not sand, that is not soil, in between something in the transformation stage. It occupied the entire space, no boundaries. Farmers really suffered a lot. They are not new to disasters. Kadalur farmers, they already experienced a tsunami, Neelam cyclone, Thane cyclone. So there is this 10 years time, huge disasters, four major disasters. This is the result of global warming and the impact of climate change. But even then, they lost the crop in the other disasters. But this time, they lost the land itself. So how to start and how to clear the sandy soil, nobody knows that. So they started migrating, 47% of migration, and 6 farmers committed suicide. When we approached each and every organization, they said it's very tough to carry out this and what are the machines we can use, how much money is needed. Nobody has the idea. They said it will take 200,000 to 400,000 to clear 1 acre of land. So for all these 45 villages, which is submerged under sand, huge money is needed. So who is responsible for this? Nobody has money. So government told we will give some compensation. If they are moving, leave it, leave them. Their contribution to GDP is very, very less. So how can we invest more money for the farmers? It is not possible. That is what they told. So under the situation, we started the work in a village, first village with our resources, inspired resources. But very soon, the other villagers, they came to us because we documented how much time it is taking, how much money is required to clear 1 acre of land. This is the final study. Okay. So I want to finish it now with this because we can give you some space for the question answer Q&A. So this lands now, we started with the machinery work on January 6th, and within 13 days time, the first village was completely cleared and lands were completely recovered, and the designs were with the futuristic scope that even the future disasters added, they should be kept rid of that, and how to make the lands as a disaster preparedness model, that was our focus. So the first village, when it is completely cleared, we estimated the cost. It was not 200,000 per acre, but 3,500 rupees per acre. Because of the machineries, no admin cost, no staff. As I said, no office, no vehicles. We stayed there itself, and Madhu is the volunteer. And myself, I didn't receive any money from anyone. So this is all complete volunteer work, and we paid the money for the machines. The machines are hired from different parties and mostly from the government, and we paid the salaries of the drivers, and the food and accommodation was arranged for the dozer drivers, and the community take the lead role. So the community was developed into several committees: monitoring committee, execution committee, documentation committee. So they learned these techniques, and now they are in the other process of making them as a collective producer company, making them more and more strong with the marketing skills, and also now they are traveling in the organic path, like Sundarban people. They also want to go for organic methods. They don't want to use the chemicals anymore because they understood from us that this is going to be a very big turning point in their life, because every time the disasters collapse to them and they don't have money to continue farming. And even though it continue, we don't have belief and aspirations that it will give them some result. But now, when we came to know that there are alternative techniques, lot of enthusiasm, energy among the communities, so lot of initiatives now going on, positive things, positive changes. So anytime if you have a chance to travel to South India, please visit Kadalur. Next couple of years, we are going to be there with the people. So anytime you are most welcome. If time permits, you can stay with us for a couple of days or a couple of weeks according to your schedule, or at least you can stay with us for a couple of hours. But this will be a very, very good exposure for you because a lot of efforts are going on in different villages in a different way. Diversified project. At present, we are working with reasonable number of villages with a really reasonable number of farmers and aimless laborers, the other half of the portion. So nearly 5,000 people are under this program, and a lot of lands under this recovery. So this part is a very MBA program. So now I request you, if you have any questions, the floor is open to you. And after that, if time permits, we can continue with the other slides. So, okay, Somnath?
Yeah, I would just like a little bit of time to discuss the chapter 6
Yeah.
after Q&A.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
So please keep in touch with us, to us.
Yeah.
At